Willie Nelson stands amongst the most beloved and famous names in the country music genre. He's best known for crooning twangy tunes in his gravelly voice, crusading for the legalization of marijuana, and notoriously getting busted for smoking pot in his car. You probably know him from hits like Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain and Always on My Mind, just to name a few. Willie's career has been a series of ups and downs, greatest among them being run-ins with the IRS. Despite all of the problems he once faced, he has bounced back. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Willie is worth an estimated $25 million. So how does he spend these millions? Stay tuned to find out. Be sure to show us your love by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell for more interesting videos if you haven't already. And that said, let's look at how Willie Nelson amassed his cash and how he spends it. The singer-songwriter was born in 1933, and he rose to fame in the 1960s. He got his first guitar when he was just 6 years old, and the gift of music was something that has stuck with him ever since. In the 1960s, Nelson couldn't find a record label to sign him. Even though a stranger to the label executives, he was churning out hits right and left. Nelson sold Pretty Paper to Roy Orbison, Nightlife to Ray Price, and most famously, Crazy to Patsy Cline. Despite other singers' success, Nelson's recordings were often rejected. He was told he didn't fit the traditional Nashville music scene. By 1973, Nelson released what many considered one of his best albums, Shotgun Willie, followed by Phases and Stages shortly after, but neither made the charts. It wasn't until 1975 when Red-Headed Stranger made it to #1 on the country's charts, and as luck would have it, the top 40 charts as well. Country fans and music enthusiasts had finally discovered Nelson. Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain earned Nelson his first Grammy Award for Best Country Vocal Performance. Nelson does it again when he partners with Waylon Jennings in duet Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, winning a second Grammy Award. Following that success, in 1978, Nelson earned another Grammy for Georgia on My Mind, and the rest, as they say, is history. Now that Nelson had become a household name, he began appearing in various films. The country star appeared alongside Robert Redford and Jane Fonda in The Electric Horseman. He also starred in the 1986 Western drama Red-Headed Stranger and has continued this path, appearing in 2005's remake of The Dukes of Hazzard, 2007's Blonde Ambition, and 2008's Beer for My Horses. Nelson's famous voice and likability personality have landed him dozens of roles as himself in films and television. He lent his talent in 2016's Zoolander 2, much to his fans' delight. Nelson wrote his first book in 1988, Willie, an autobiography. An updated autobiography was released in 2012, Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die, Musings from the Road. Between the two autobiographies, Nelson continued to write. For instance, Nelson co-authored Farm Aid, a Song for America commemorative book supporting Farm Aid. Nelson also wrote books supporting the reduction of gas emissions and favor of biodiesel fuel. In 2006, he released another book with longtime friend Turk Pipkin, The Tao of Willie, A Guide to the Happiness in Your Heart. And in 2015, a third autobiography was released, It's a Long Story, My Life, co-authored with David Ritz. Willie always found a way to bag his cash, from songwriting to writing to acting. He did it all. Now that we know how he amassed his money, let's see how he spends it. In 1990, federal agents seized Willie's properties in 6 states and assets, including boxes of master tapes, touring equipment, gold and platinum records, and clothes. The IRS estimated a total tax debt of $32 million, claiming that much of his income was hidden in tax shelters, a result, the singer said, of mismanaged earnings and bad advice from his accountants. After seizing his assets, the IRS charged the entertainer with a debt of $16.7 million, a whopping $10.2 million, which was in interest and penalties alone. At the end of those meetings, in 1993, Willie and the IRS settled the debt for $9 million, more than $3 million of which had been already paid off. To wipe out the remainder of the debt, he had earlier come up with the idea to compile a 2-disc collection of acoustic renditions of some of his songs, featuring just Nelson and his guitar, to keep recording costs as low as possible. The material on the IRS tapes, Who'll Buy My Memories, released in 1992, matched Nelson's somber mood in light of the situation, with such songs as What Can You Do to Me Now, Permanently Lonely, and Remember the Good Times. The LP, which initially sold for $19.95 via an infomercial, didn't sell as well as it could or should have due to Willie wearing a t-shirt during the TV spot with a wrong number printed on it. You might associate musician Willie Nelson with his long hair, the propensity to use a certain herb, and other things, but likely don't think for 2 seconds that he's a car guy. Willie has owned some great rides over the years. Some might wonder why a man who's been such an environmental activist would drive a diesel-powered car. That's a good question, and it's certainly a controversial topic, with some arguing the fuel efficiency of these cars outweighs any supposed pollution drawbacks. However, considering the man started a company called Willie Nelson Biodiesel, we're guessing this car smells more like French fries from McDonald's than that. Like so many Americans, Willie Nelson owned a Ford Mustang. His was a '67 fastback and had been customized in several ways, with the front fangs removed, along with the exhaust ports and the rear lower fascia. It was also painted orange and black to honor the state of Oklahoma. Sadly, Willie lost the car back in 1990 when the IRS seized it and most of everything he owned. It's been floating around in the collector market, recently appearing in a Vicari auction event. When you're on the road again, spending weeks and weeks touring the country while performing at shows, you want a vehicle that's comfortable and has a touch of your style. Just the exterior of the tour bus is a work of art, from the bald eagle soaring across a blue sky on the rear to the cowboy murals on the side. Covering the dash is tufted leather, while the rest of the interior features red velvet, dark wood, brass light features, and stained glass. Honestly, it's more like a pub than a bus, so the man's traveled in style. However, the bus is no longer owned by Nelson. A man really knows how to live when he rides around in the most opulent, pretentious golf cart in existence, or at least this one was for the early 1980s. It's just a run-of-the-mill golf cart with Rolls-Royce trim pieces added and red velvet upholstery on the seats. Oh, and plus, a wet bar was installed with buttons to select different drinks. Willie loved this ride so much he named it the 19th hole. Like his Mustang, this was sold off by the IRS. Willie Nelson fans were shocked with this set of wheels. The on-the-road-again star didn't drive up in a pickup truck or a van when he got his COVID-19 vaccine. Instead, he showed up in a Tesla. This might sound unexpected to fans of the country legend. The famous country legend isn't known for house flipping, but he has spent substantial funds for his privacy and quiet retreats. Willie owns an 800-acre ranch known as Luck Ranch in Spicewood, Texas. The farm serves as a horse rescue facility, allowing the animals to live happily and provided for the rest of their lives. He has a second home in Maui and is actively engaged in the community. He's known to stop by Charlie's Restaurant and Saloon to play a few songs for the guests. He's also participated in a student-led rally to end gun violence on the island. Willie is always free to add his name to those he agrees with, including presidential endorsements, commercial endorsements, and those issues he's particularly passionate about. In 2002, he became the spokesperson for the restaurant chain Texas Roadhouse. He later formed Willie Nelson Biodiesel, or BioWillie, and several business partners to market biodiesel fuels at truck stops. Today, the biofuel is still sold on the island of Maui and Hawaii. In addition, Nelson created his own marijuana brand, Willie's Reserve, with plans to open chain stores in the states where marijuana is legalized. Willie has spent a pretty penny supporting those causes he holds dear. Raised on a farm and a huge supporter for those living a farmer's life, he helped organize the first Farm Aid concert with Neil Young and John Mellencamp, earning $10 million to help farmers. He's been involved in the Society of Protective Animal Legislation, Best Friends Animal Society, and Animal Welfare Institute. 4 wives, 7 children, about 350 albums, and a marijuana line. Willie Nelson has never done anything by halves, and he continues to live life to the fullest. And that's how Willie Nelson spends his millions. We hope you enjoyed it. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our awesome content. Please give us a like and share the video. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new uploads. We value your feedback, so feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comment section down below. I'm Mickey V, and I'll see you in the next video.